G'day mateys, today we are going to modify a Gotek floppy drive emulator. We'll show you what that is really soon. We're going to put some new software in it, we're going to add a screen onto the front, solder some pin headers in, and do a few funky things. Might even have to get the file out and file a couple of things. So we'll get into that, but in the meantime we'll do our bit of magic and we'll get it right here on the bench. So here you go, here's everything that we need. We have a rotary encoder. We have a knob to go on the end of the rotary decoder. Put that to the side. We've got our programming device here, which goes from USB to RS232 TLL. You can see that printed on the back there. We've got the USB cable to make that happen. We've got some patch leads for doing all of the hooking up that we'll have to do with this device. We've got some pin headers here that we're going to have to solder in on the device so we can put some new software in. Got quite a few spare pin headers there. In here. Right, so let's open this. I don't know which one this one is, so we'll open it up. So this is one of our screen options. We've got this screen here that should fit quite nicely. It's got 4 pins on the back. Now, one of these is a white and one of them is a blue, so we'll put that to the side there. Here's the other one I haven't opened. Oh, so that one's a blue. There you go, it's got a blue dot. The other one has a white dot, look at that. So there we go, so that's exactly the same in there. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to go for, so I'll plug them in and we'll test it and see how it goes. Also, we have a different type of screen, because I just want to see if these other ones will work. So we'll just plug this one in. This is a larger size screen, but I don't think it will fit inside the device. But I just want to have a look, because I could use this as an external screen on another Gotek Drive. I've got 2 of those. And here is the Gotek Drive in the box. So we get a couple of screws with it. Oh, and some jumpers, awesome. Can you see those little jumpers there? We're going to be using some of those. Came in the box, woo woo. In here is a Gotek Drive. We have the software disks, which we won't be using. Oh look, this one actually has a sticker over it. There you go, I haven't seen one with a sticker over the screw before. So we're going to avoid its warranty, not that, you know, flashing its software is going to avoid its warranty anyhow. And so we have a display in the front here. This is just a 2-digit one. Actually, I'm going to come back to this in a second. I'm just going to grab something else. We've got USB, and then we've got the 2 buttons on the front. So we're going to add a rotary encoder in here. Probably where that hole is in the... Right there, we can drill in a rotary encoder. We're going to put a different screen in and flash different software. Now see, look, this is a FRM 1M44U100, but I ordered 2, but I didn't notice that this one is different to the other one. I'll just grab the other one. See, this one, it is quite different. Look at that. The moulding's different. I just looked at it and said, oh, it's the same, but it's not. They both say Gotek. Well, look, this one's got a 3 display. That's only got a 2. So to put this screen in, it'll be easier to put it into here. Put the 3, this screen into the 3 one rather than in the double one. You know what? I'm going to open both these up. We'll do it now. We'll see if there's any differences. So I have no idea why they're so different. Probably 2 different knockoffs. Actually, look here. There is a difference. This one here says Gotek System, this particular one. This does say Gotek on the front. However, on the board, it's got a different set of pin headers that are here that aren't on this one. It doesn't say Gotek. Let's get the screwdriver. I'm curious. Let's do this. They're both ordered via AliExpress, so you never know what you're going to get. So let's open this one up first. 1 screw. 2 screw. Interesting when you get surprises. I just assumed they were both the same because I hadn't taken the other one out of the box. Oops. There's the screws. 1, 2. Move that to the side. There is another screw here. There it is. Now let's take the screws out of this one. And this one's got warranty stickers, which is even weirder. Do we try to peel the sticker back and be all professional, or do we just stab straight through? Let's try to peel it back firstly. No, failed. Okay, just stab. Okay, so they're all loose. That one is. Okay, let's pull that lid off. Okay, is there any differences? So this one, cap is leaning over, that one just standing up. Voltage regulator, same capacitors, single LED. There's actually a spot here for another LED, but I don't think I've got any 3mm LEDs in stock, otherwise I'd actually put one in, so I'll go chase that off in a minute. Processor is the same processor, yep. Okay, that's fine. Neither of them got the extra pin headers here, so I'll have to put those on. It's got that one there, but look at this one. Yeah, there is definitely a difference in the board here. This has the same ground plane. This cuts across differently, and this pin header. So, yeah, one is a newer version, obviously, or one is a clone. You probably find that one is a proper Gotek and one is a Chinese clone. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to cut the video here, and we will be back in a little while. Okay, back with you. So, what we're going to do with these later is that we'll be pushing onto the pins that we're about to solder into here, and then we'll be putting those onto our little programmer here, hooking up to the PC and flashing it with some software. So links to where the new software will be in the description below, and you'll be able to download that yourself and modify one of these drives if you need one. So to get this out, so I'm going to use the one with the bigger screen area. This one I'll put aside for now. However, I might have to use the lid off that one onto this one, just for the rotary encoder that I'll be putting in, because this lid here sinks down, the rotary encoder might just get in the way. Have a look at that one, it doesn't sink down as much, so if you see what I mean, there's a difference there. So we'll have a bit of a play and see what happens later when we put those back together. So this one here, off to the side. I will probably flash that one at the same time, but we'll concentrate on this one. So, need to pull this out, just pop it up. And I have to push that LED through. There we go. What I need to do, I need to put some pin headers in here. So we have the pin headers just here. And how many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just need to cut the pin header just across there. There's a spot to cut it, so we get our cutters and we'll just go squeeze and cut it away. So just into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins, and we squeeze, cut, it flew over there. So that there will then pop into here. Make sure it lines up. Beautiful, look at that. Like a bought one. And then the remainder that we have, we only actually need 4. So we'll count 4 across again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we cut after the 4th. Trim that off. I always hold on to these because, as you see, you randomly need pin headers for things. And then we'll pop that into here. And that's great. Now, I need to solder these, and they're going to keep moving and being a pain in the neck. So remember how I said, oh, it's got some jumpers? Well, this is where we can use a couple of these jumpers we've got here to hold them together. That means I can then solder them. There we go, 2 jumpers. So what I'll do, bring this up so you guys can have a bit of a squiz. See how they keep moving? So across these 2 pins here if we can. Hold them with my thumb this time. There we go, see? Across these 2 pins down here. Dunk. And then across these 2 down this end. Push that down. That just means that they're all nice and level and straight. So when I pop this over and we solder these, we're not going to have any issues. So, normally I'd actually take the board fully out, so which I will. So we can see that red and white, so we'll just pull that off. We're not going to have a look at the other ones over there anyhow, so we'll just pull those straight off. We're going to be replacing that screen anyhow. There we go, so just leave those off to the side. The pin headers that I did put together have fallen out, but that's fine. So you can see how they're all grouped together. So back into the holes. Beautiful. We can flip that over, put it down on our heat-proof silicon mat. And that is ready to go. We have our soldering iron here already. And we can start soldering away. So, now today, I'm just going to not even really look myself. Hopefully you won't see my head. So just take it in at one end, take it in at the other end. Like so. I'm just going to flip this around, make sure that they do look level. Yes, they do. They are pushed in fully. Great. And here we go. Make sure that these have a good connection. They look a bit dry. See, I've just bridged those together, so you just run your soldering iron through and away. No, so that one's going to stick. So it sometimes happens. A couple of ways you can do this. You can get the solder sucker out and suck it away. You can get some copper. We can just heat it up and then just go tap. There you go, that cleared it. Nice and easy. Reason I didn't get solder sucker is I forgot to put it on the bench. So that's fine, just doubly checking. I'll get my magnifier out and just check, but I think that looks pretty good. Let that focus. What do you think, guys? So there you go, nice and simple. So that's in. We're going to take these two jumpers off. 1, 2, and there you go. It looks exactly like the one next to it, like I bought one. So that's great. So what we now have to do, we have to figure out what pins on here go to what pins on here, and then we hook this up to the PC and we do a little bit of flashing. So we're going to stop this for a second. I'll get out some documentation and I'll be back soon. Okay, we're back. What we're going to do now, just in here there's two holes I need to put two pin headers in. So we're just going to quickly desolder those. I haven't got the desoldering station here, so we're just going to try to do it with the good old solder sucker firstly to clear out the holes. If that doesn't work, well then I'll go get the desoldering station. So just here we'll pop some solder onto those and then we'll just suck them out. And then we can put in this little pin header, and this pin header is for our rotary encoder. So let's do it. Soldering iron. Add a little bit of solder there. A little bit of solder there. Hold it on for a while, get the heat into it. And helps if you have it ready. Nope, hasn't cleared. That one has. So I'll just try this one again. Hold it on there a bit longer this time. Always get one that's stubborn. There we go. So that's now, have a look, you can actually see straight through both sides. So you don't always need a desoldering station. See, there wasn't a big ground plane on that, so fairly easy. So pop that into place. There we go. We'll just flip it around, rest it down on here. and it's going to fall out. So I will just quickly, really quickly, otherwise I'm going to burn my fingers, just tap it to hold it in place. Nope, that's going to fail. Let's see if we can rest it against something. No, I'm going to have to get some sticky tape. I just didn't think to bring any over, that's all. Give me 1 sec. Okay, I got some sticky tape, so just grab a bit of tape like so. Yes, the sticky tape will melt, but we're not going to be doing it for very long. So just push it down, push it over, fold it over a little bit. So see, that's just going to hold it in place now, so I can flip it over. You can see that the pins are just here. So we'll just solder those in. Then we'll take sticky tape away. So it could be, make sure it's hot enough. Yep. Add some heat, push some solder in, let go, add some heat, push the solder in, and let go. Just make sure that they look nice and good. There we go, let's bring them up so you guys can check them out. So that one's a little bit blobby. So let's just, that's a bit better. There we go, lovely. Okay, now we can take the tape off. Beautiful, so there's a little pin header, and that's for the rotary encoder that we'll be doing shortly. So we've got to program this. Now, to program this, I'm going to have to get our programmer, that's right here. This little fella here, but we're going to need a couple of these. So we need some for power. And then we need TX and RX. So power we'll use brown and red, and we'll use next two along, which is going to be orange and yellow. So we'll peel those away. These are called Dupont cables. You can get them with the female, or you can get them with the male, which I've got over here. So male versions, females, and you can actually plug a female onto a male like so. Often what I use the male ones for is when I'm going directly into a board and I don't want to solder it permanently, I just want to use it as a temporary thing. So I've got both versions here. So what do we need to do? So let's get our magic bit of paper. So firstly, we actually have to put a jumper on. So here is a jumper that we have to put on across those two pins. The next one is TX and RX. So here is our little leads. As I said, we're going to use power, will be red, ground will be brown. So we have to look at our little TTL to RS232 adapter here. We have to read what it says on there. So let's have a bit of a squiz. So we need power, which is VCC, which is the red one, which goes onto there like so. We need ground, which is on the end here, ground. And then we need TX and RX, which are the next two. So TX and RX. Great. So you can see they're fitting nice and well. So here's the other end now. We've got to connect them to the opposite end here. So 5 volt. We're going to be powering this from this device. So 5 volt will go onto here. Like so. You can see it's printed on the board. 5. Ground. So that's coming out of there. Push that in again. Good. The ground, which is our brown, goes across to this pin here. That leaves us with 2 more, which is our TX and RX. But you can't connect TX to TX and RX to RX because they need to be swapped over. So we know that our RX is yellow, but we need to go to TX on here. So I believe the TX is this pin here. There we go. And then the RX is onto this pin here. So as you see, we now have 4 wires. So what we now need to do, we need to take this over to the computer, hook up the USB, load some software, and flash the Gotek with new software. So let's shoot over and do that. We may need to reset the device. So there's 2 pins across here and here. They're actually reset. You could connect a button or connect a couple of wires up. So we may need to do that. So just giving you a bit of a warning. So let's go over there and we'll check it out. So here we are on the laptop. We've got our Gotek here that you've seen me modify. We've got our USB programmer and our lead. So what we're now going to do is pop this into our USB port. If I can get it in the right way. There we go. That's come on. And let's go check in our device manager. There we go, we heard the noise. And yes, we'll just double check. So that is now USB serial COM port number 3. So now we need to launch our program. We select COM port 3, there it is. Go next. Unrecognized device. Remember how I said we might have to restart the device? Let's give that a go. So there we go, target is now readable, press next. All looks good, select the right device, that's great. So click next. We want to download to device. We have to select the file. We have it, it's a hex file, so we need to select a hex file. There we go, there is our FlashFloppy Gotek file. We open that. We tell it to do a global erase and we want to verify at the end. Everything else we're happy with, so we now say next. And we wait for that to proceed. This will take a while, so we'll fast forward this. Verifying right. And successful. Click close. So we're back. We've gone and flashed your software. It's all now up to date. We've removed the little jumper off here, so keep it out of its boot state. Now here's the screen that I want to use. So here it is, and on the top here, we've got what the labels are. So we've got ground, VCC, SCL, and SDA. So we now need to connect those to these pin headers here. And we might as well use the leads that were previously on the device. So we go here, might as well just... Actually, we need to remove this whole thing anyhow. So let's push him out. 3 segment. Got these leads here like so. So let's pull those off. We can now use those. You can see the little chip on the back there. Okay. So on here, firstly, let's have a look at ground and VCC. So VCC is going to be positive, like so. And then we might as well put the same pattern again, so white, red, white, red. So that's fairly straightforward. Now, we've just got to figure out which of these pins are here. So let's do that. So I now have my notes here. So on the notes, it tells us ground is the pin at the back. VCC, 5 volts, is the one at the front. So let's do those first. So I want the red one to go to that point there. So that point there is the furthest one in. Now we know that I've put this on here. I'll flip it over, we'll have a look. Get it the right way around. So ground, and then VCC. So not that set, but this set here. So we know that red is positive. We're looking at this, and we know that the one closest to the front, so that's the front, that's the closest to the front. That pin goes up and bends around, so that is positive. So this lead wants to go on like so. So ground at the back, positive, great. Then it's SCL. So SCL, again, is the front one. So again, push those on, like so. And now we have a screen that is now connected. We need to test this, so let's pop some power into here, and we will see if the screen lights up. I'll be excited. So, we've hooked all this together. This is a little Pico power supply I've got here, and it goes into a little plug pack, like so, through the plug pack. So, we turn this on, and there we go. Tells us FlashFloppy, tells us a version number. Fabulous. Push any buttons, it doesn't do anything because there's nothing happening. So, okay, we turn her off. We can now pop in a memory stick with a couple of image files on it. Push that in, turn it back on again. And it tells us we've got MS-DOS 6.22 disk 1, and then I can just scroll through them. Disk 2, disk 3. Let's see, there's a supplemental disk as well. So, beautiful. That all works. So now we've got to put the rotary switch in. So let's get working on that. Turn her off, obviously. Okay, so here is our rotary encoder, and I've got listed on here minus, plus, then it's SW, CLK, and DT. So we've got these 5 cables here. I'll stick those straight in. And I missed them all. Okay, let's do one at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, the very first one here, which is the white one, that is minus, so we need to take that from the ground. Our grounding point is, take this jumper off firstly. The grounding point is that one. Then the next wire along, we'll do the SW. So the SW is in the middle, which is a purple colour. So we'll use the purple one down here. And that goes opposite our ground. Fabulous. Okay, the next 2 wires after the purple, we're looking at the green and blue. So the green and blue are DT and CLK. Now we might have to swap these around if it's rotating the wrong way. So these 2, which are the last 2 here, so it's, as I said, the blue and the green, so we'll separate these. So blue and green, take them back through there, like so. Now they have to go onto these pins here that we've added in for the rotary encoder, like so. Now this rotary encoder has actually got resistors on the back of it, pull-up resistors, so that means we can't take, we need to get power for it because it's got the pull-up resistors. So we have this extra wire here, it's a grey one, tells us on here. Grey is the positive, that's the multimeter in the background because I've turned on. And we need to get voltage for that, and that is going to come off this pin here apparently. So that is now wired in and it should work. So let's power it on. Here's our little screen, let's turn her on. FlashFloppy. So if I turn this, oh look at that. Turn, it now flicks through them all. I can go forwards, backwards, and then to select the image, I can just push it and it selects it. So it makes it much easier to use than the little buttons. Great. Fantastic, so that works. That was very, very easy. So there is one modified Gotek. So we now have a lovely screen. We have a rotary encoder. Makes it much, much easier to use. Now I've got to put it back in this box. Let's see if we can get it to fit nicely. I'm going to have to drill out the hole here for the rotary encoder to go into. And we're actually going to have to make this a bit bigger, because you can probably see here, if I stick him through here, you can see he's just a bit bigger. So we need to make that a little bit bigger, so I'll have to sand it off. So that's something I'll have to do off camera. But let's just do the rotary encoder for now. So here we go. There's already a little hole here, which happens to be exactly in the center where it needs to be. So I've got a 2mm drill bit. Just going to pop that into that nice hole there. Make sure it's nice and level, and let's see if we can go straight through. There we go, nice and straight. So now we'll step up to the next drill size and see how we go. Now 4.5. Again, line up in the hole, hold nice and steady, firm grip. There we go, next drill size again. 6.5. Firm grip again. This may grab, so be careful. Clearly keep your fingers away from the inside. So that's still not quite big enough yet. So up to our next drill bit size. So here we have a 7mm. Now let's check that against there. Slightly large, which is what you want. Okay, let's give this a try. Pop him in. Firm grip, keep your fingers away from the back. Okay, so let's see if that now fits. Grab this. And there he goes, he fits into the hole. So now we just need to take the nut off. There we go. Nut and washer off. Clean away any debris. You see there's a little bit of debris inside. Just go in there with the cutters if you like. Snip some of it away. Good. Pop in your rotary encoder, push it through. Put on your washer. Drop on your nut. And tighten it up. Now, I will get a socket and tighten it up properly, surely. But I think we have a problem. Will this fit over when the rotary encoder is in position? Let's have a look. It's going to be a very squeezy fit. So we're going to have to just squeeze that down a little. Yeah. But as you can see, if using that temporary hole on the front, there is no gap at the bottom, no gap at the top. It's nice and tight. To make sure that actually fits it, we can just bend those down just a little bit. You can see it's just almost level. So if we're really stuck, we could actually just shave a little bit off here, file a little bit off. But I think we'll be good to go. So here's the board. That'll go back into here like so. So it's got two things. But we still have this screen that we're going to have to play with. So the screen will fit, but we're going to have to file a bit away. So what I need to do is line the screen up roughly to where it goes. You know what, that actually might be okay. I actually think that's going to fit quite well. I don't think we're going to have to shave anything off that. Let's turn it on and have a bit of a look. Let's plug in the power. Let's turn that on. Look at that. I've actually put the screen in upside down. So let's try that again. To hold that in place with my finger, turn her on. actually looks pretty good. Turn her off again, we'll pop a USB stick in and we'll see if there's any writing going off the screen. Yeah, so it's just missing a little bit of character. We'll slide that up so we can have a look. Yeah, it's missing. So if we see the word set up. So we'll put that in here. Can we see the whole word? No, we're just missing a little bit. So if you're happy to miss one character off the end, just glue it in its position, or you can sand out. To be honest, I think I'm actually just going to pop a bit of hot glue in the back here and just miss out on that one character on the back. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So let's get some hot glue. Okay, hot glue gun is ready. He's hiding just here. We'll move our little guard out of the way. What we need to do is just pop him a bit of glue just to hold him in position. Just in here. It's a bit better. Hot glue is the world's hottest thing you can imagine. So what we're just doing, we're just trying to get that to, so I need to hold it with my finger behind where the glue isn't, just to make sure that it's not crooked. It keeps kicking up. So I just need to hold that for a little while, and we'll check out what it looks like once it's set. So there we go, that's now installed. You can see it flicking through all the discs, and you press it, you select it, and it loads it into memory. See, T track. As it was reading, actually tells you what track it's going to. So that will go into my Windows 98 machine now, so I can use the backup floppies. And I've also got another one of these that's in an Amiga that I need to do the mods to. Then I've got that other unit that we had with a slightly different board. I've already flashed that one. I did that while I was doing this one. But it's still got the LED. So what I'll do, I'll hook that one up and I can show you how it works if you just leave the standard LED in it instead of the lovely liquid crystal display LED that we have here. So let's go check that out. And I'm back. Here's the other unit. We flashed this one. I can put the sticker back over. Whoa, look at that, like I bought one. So we put a pin header on this one as we did with the original one. I've gone and flashed it, but this still has the 2-segment LED display. So we'll turn this on, and it should come up FF for FlashFloppy. That's the software we put in. And then it will just give you a number 0, 1, 2, 3. Because we've got 4 image files on here. The first one being 0. And then you can just select those with little buttons here. So I haven't put rotary encode in this one. So let's see if this works. FF, there we go, 0. You can go up to 1, 3, and there you go. So there's the 4 image files. The problem is with this, you need to have a list. Image file, O1 is MS-DOS disk 1. Image file 2 is DOS disk 2. So it could get quite confusing, especially if you've got like 1,000 image files on your USB stick. So that's why it's nice to have the other LED display that has all of the text on it. But look, there we go, another nice little unit all working. And these can be used in Amigas, Ataris, some of the old Yamahas like the DX7s, all that sort of stuff. So if you've got an old failing floppy drive, pop one of these in, put your floppy disk into an image format, pop them on a USB, and you will never have any issues again. What we'll do, we'll pop this cover back on, so push all these back down. Here's the cover. Got to make sure that we don't get any of the cables in the way of the screws, like I just did. So just move them down there a bit more. And look at that. You can't get the cover on because of the height of the cables. So you just got a bit of jiggery pokery to get everything in clear view. So maybe pop those around the other side. that. So what's happening here, that these two here that we've soldered on for the rotary switch are standing up too high. So what we'll do, we'll just bend those over. See how they're now bent over to the side. Now this will go on. No, actually, see what the problem is here. This section, and this is why I film this stuff, so you can work. You can have a look where I make a mistake. This here would normally go in behind the little LED holds in place, but it's now in the way. So we've got our snippers here. We don't need it because that's hot glued in position. So we just snip, snip, and just snip it probably once more. There we go. It's all cleared now. So this will all go back together, but you'll notice that these two have come off. So pop those back on, like so. And there we go, that now all goes together. So we'll pop the 4 screws back in and we'll give it a go. I'm saying 4 screws and it's actually only 3. 2, 3. 1. 2. 3. It's slightly up here because of the rotary encoder, so I might just shave a little bit of the plastic off on the inside. Let's just test that again. Put the power in. Turn it back on. Beautiful. I forgot to put the USB stick in, so we'll put the USB stick in now. And look at that, rotary encoder is still working fine. Select the image. It's loaded. Fabulous. So that's great. So that's all done. Probably don't actually really need the cover on, to be honest, because it's going inside a computer system, so it's not really an issue. But that's all complete, so didn't take too long. A few little steps that weren't very clear on the internet, like having to reset by using those extra 2 pins at the back to reset it so the software detects it, and then you've got to tell it to blank it, and it waits ages. And then you have to reset it again, and then it carries on. It doesn't quite tell you that in the software, but yeah, that's great. The only other thing we have left to do is put our little knob on. Now, I didn't have one without a line on it, so this is the only one I had. So we'll just put that on. You hear it as it clicks in. So push him in, and there we go. We now have a nice, lovely twiddly knob. So that's great. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in today. And here's some different kind of mod for you. So don't forget to click on the subscribe below, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment. Any suggestions, let us know. Bye for now.